In this tutorial, we will learn about the materials in AtomCraft. A material is a WAV or AIFF file that is registered in the tool and can then be referenced by one or more sound cues. There are a couple of ways to register a material, depending on your workflow, but it's always very easy. As you may have seen in a previous tutorial, you can register audio files by dragging and dropping them into the material root folder and also by importing them from the Windows Explorer. Once registered, an audio file will be duplicated into the materials folder. The material file will share the audio properties of the original file, although some of these can be overridden later and will have its own encoding settings that will be used when exporting the project. Of course, you can organize your materials in subfolders. To create a subfolder, right-click on the parent folder, here the material root folder, click on New Object, and then choose Create Subfolder. To rename it, simply right-click on the new folder and choose Rename. Each folder can have its own settings. This provides a convenient way to override the settings of a group of materials. To do this, simply click on a subfolder to see its properties and to modify them if needed. For example, let's override the streaming setting of these two folders. This new setting is now effective for all the audio files in these folders. You can also see here that you can override the loop information of an audio file thanks to the reloop options. We will talk about this in more detail in a future tutorial. Here you will also find the encoding settings. This is important because ADX2 comes with two proprietary codecs, which are very efficient and capable of great performance, in addition to the usual codecs provided by the console manufacturers. The first of these proprietary codecs is called ADX. It has a very low CPU load and runs on all game platforms, including mobile devices. Using the ADX codec, sounds can be compressed to about 1/4 of their original size. The second proprietary codec is HCA for High Compression Audio. It offers compression ratios comparable to the general-purpose audio codecs such as MP3 or AAC. However, it does it with a very low and stable CPU cost. In particular, there is no peak at the beginning of the decoding. The HCA-MX codec is a variant of the HCA codec, which has been carefully tuned for games and has a really low CPU cost, which makes it ideal for mobile games. Because the decoding is done after the mixing, you can play many voices for the cost of decoding just a few. This also means that there are some constraints, like the sounds decoded at the same time must have the same sampling rate. Within AtomCraft, the sound quality of the HCA encoding, and therefore also its compression ratio, can be specified by a 5-level value, as you can see here. This concludes this tutorial about the materials in AtomCraft.